If you're watching this video, you probably don't have a fruit or you just want to get fruits faster. Note that there are no easy ways to get a fruit. There are just multiple methods on how to do it. I'll be taking into consideration and the fact that you might be fruitless or you just have a rare devil fruit like a bomb or a gomu. So with that out of the way, let's get started with the first method. Okay, so the first method will be ship farming. For you to ship farm, you just need some bounty and a boat. Probably some planks too and a hammer. So what you need to get is at least 1,000 bounty or higher, but you can start with around 500 bounty. With the problem with having lower bounty is that it'll take longer for ships to spawn, and you want to have as much ships coming to your boat as possible so that your ship farming will be as efficient. So since you are a fruitless player who just started the game and wanted to grind fruits, ship farming is one of the first things that you can do as long as you have the bounty for it. You can just set out to sea and then you wait for ships to come. You can do this fruitless. You just have to kill the you can just kill the driver of the boat. You don't have to kill the NPCs on the cannons. So look at here, we have our first ship over there. So we'll go to it and we'll kill it. You just have to kill this NPC here. He's the one that will drop the fruit. You can also kill these guys for bounty and some wood. I'm just gonna kill them right here. They're pretty easy to kill. I recommend you using black leg or one sword style. And if you're using one sword style, it's better to buy the GPO from the GPO trainer in Coco Island. Now, the higher your bounty is, the more frequently ships are gonna spawn, and also the higher your bounty is, the galleons will spawn more often than caravels. So you have to take into consideration that fact, because you might not be able to chase galleons if you're not fast enough and you don't have a fruit. Another way you can ship farm is with cores. If you're somehow lucky enough to get one of the cores from a sea beast or a kraken, this will help you immensely in ship farming, as you can practically be AFK while the sea beasts and krakens will kill the ships for you. And if you do have one of these, it's better to do it in a group, because the more people doing ship farming, the more ships that will spawn, which will increase your chances of getting a fruit. I mean, not you, but the group has an increased chance of getting a fruit due to how many ships there are. However, even if you do not have any of these cores, the Kraken core and the Sea Beast core, you can also do it with friends without a core. You just make sure that you use galleons. You make like a tiny island with the galleons, and you guys manually kill the NPCs on the ship by hopping on them and then killing the captain with black leg or any fighting style you have, or if you have a fruit, it's even better. Although you do have to be careful because you are at risk of drowning. There are multiple spots where it is better for you to ship farm. Like the iconic one in First Sea is the rock at Skypiea, which I'll be showing a picture here. It is just beside the knock-up stream when you're about to go to the land of the sky. You can spawn your boat beside it, and then you can stay on the rock while waiting for the ships to come to your boat. And you can rest there without having the fear of drowning unless you do something stupid and fall off. And for Second Sea, players like to ship farm in front of the Colosseum, which is because there's a set spawn at the Colosseum and it's just relatively close. So after you're done ship farming, you can just go back to the Colosseum and then gather up what fruits you've gotten as a group or by yourself if you don't have friends. So with that out of the way, let's move on to the next method. Okay, so the next method will be Kraken or Sea Beast farming. If you're a fruitless player, it's best to use Black Leg with Demon Step, as Demon Step has good range with the Demon Blitz move, but if you're lucky enough to be a Fishman, you can go ahead and learn the Fishman Karate and then put plenty of points into the Mastery, because most of the moves of Fishman Karate scale with Fishman Mastery, and then 3 of its moves, the Ultimate, the Barrage, and the Block Breaker, the second Block Breaker I mean, are ranged moves, so they're pretty good for farming Sea Beast. Especially if you're fruitless, you won't have the fear of drowning. But even if you have a fruit, you can still quote-unquote swim, which is basically used struggling to get up. A popular place to farm sea beasts in the first sea is in this spot right here in Marineford G1. Over in this direction, which I'll fly over right now, there is a patch of rough waters, which is where you would find the shrine for you to move to second sea. So if you have enough bounty for it, you can go to this place and then you lure a sea beast back to the island. See those dark clouds? That's where what you call that? The rough water patches. So I'm gonna just get one real quick. I'll spawn my boat and then lure a sea beast. There's one, and then we head back to the island. And make sure you if you're fruitless, right? Make sure you adjust the sea beast by jumping high in the air. Make sure you jump up so that the sea beast will follow you and it will be closer to the island, so you won't have to drown. And you can also M1 the sea beast, which helps in killing it faster. But do be careful in M1ing a sea beast because it will slightly pull you towards it and can cause you to drown. So I'm just adjusting this sea beast right here until it comes closer to me. Hold on. This might take a while. Okay, so the sea beast, as you saw, dove down. Here it is. It's close to the island. What you can do here is, if you're tanky enough or brave enough, you can M1 the sea beast. You can even bring this closer, but for some reason I just messed up with this one. It didn't come as close as I wanted it to. But from here on out, you can just take a safe spot over there on a ledge or something, and then shoot the sea beast with your ranged moves. For Krakens, it's gonna be a different story because that's gonna be in the second sea. But in the second sea, which I'll show in a clip, there's a spot where you can lure Krakens into, and then you can kill them safely. Krakens have twice the amount of HP as serpents, but their drops are quite better than the sea serpent or sea beast. If you are farming Krakens and somehow found yourself some help from other players, you can either ask or join the other players that are hosting a Kraken raid or a Kraken stack party, which you will see in this clip that I had a few months back. What Kraken stacking basically does is, it's in the name, you stack Krakens, and this is a great way to get Kraken items fast if you're lucky enough. With all things, you have to be lucky in GPO, but it's also a great source for levels if you aren't max yet. So if you got some friends that are Pika or Tori or anyone fast enough with high bounty that can lure in that spot, as you see in the clip. Sorry for notifications. It will be really good for you. I recommend doing this with a group, especially if you do not have high bounty, like my friend over here. He has only 12k, but he can still manage to summon one. It just takes a while, and doing it in a group helps to kill the sea serpent faster, or Kraken. And then if everyone gets credits, everyone is eligible to get a chance of getting a level drop, which, if I recall correctly, both sea beast and Krakens have a 3% chance of dropping a fruit when killed. So if you have a group of 4, there's a chance for one of you guys to get the fruit during a kill, which is very nice. I'm just gonna kill these 2 sea beasts real quick. On to the next method. So this method will be finding fruits under trees, naturally spawning ones. So in GPO, there's a chance for a devil fruit to spawn under a random tree around the map every 1 to 4 hours. So it could be under this tree, or this tree. Anywhere that has a tree, there's a chance for a devil fruit to spawn under it. Now, I do not recommend doing this method because it does take quite a lot of time, and you wouldn't want to, wait 1 to 4 hours just for a suke. Not to mention that it's under a random tree, so you don't even know where it is unless you have the notifier. So what I recommend doing is going to the second sea. So in the second sea, if they have not patched this yet, fruits will only spawn on the Colosseum Park under these trees. So if they haven't patched this yet, you can, AFK in your private server and then check every hour or so for fruit. Just like go around the island, or if you're doing something else, you might as well check every so often, see if your fruit, if you've found a fruit here that's naturally spawned. But I really wouldn't recommend this method. It's more of a passive way of getting that fruit. If you're doing something in your server, like maybe cracket stacking or maybe boss hunt or something. So that's this for this method. On to the last one. Okay, so the last method will be dungeons. Dungeons is, I would say, the most effective way to get a fruit, because if you can manage to reach wave 25, if you don't have a good fruit, or if you're fruitless, you are guaranteed to get a devil fruit at wave 25. And even if you have a bad devil fruit or you're fruitless, you can always do it with a friend or a group to help you. And it's always better to go in a group, especially dungeons, and you don't have like a good farming fruit for dungeons like Phoenix, Tori, or Mera. Do note that it is not impossible to solo or do dungeons as a fruitless or with a bad fruit. I'm pretty sure there are multiple strategies to complete dungeons with different methods, like if you're fruitless with a fishman or a bad fruit. There's plenty of videos out there. I'm not gonna cover all of the methods in this video because it's going to be quite long, and I don't really have all the information in the world to tell you what to do in your specific situation. Another thing to note is that this is very important one. During weekends, I think it starts on a Friday for me. I think it starts on 12 a.m. EST. I don't know what the exact time is, but during weekends, right? There's a thing called 2x Logia, which basically increases your chances to get a legendary and a mythical. Since the normal drop rates of legendary is 4% and the mythical is 0.5%. On a 2x Logia weekend, by the way, this happens every weekend, so you don't have to worry about it going away. Your chances will become 8% to get the legendary and 1% to get a mythical, which is very awesome in my opinion. It helps a lot with farming. So if you're ever gonna do any of these methods that I mentioned, make sure to do them on a weekend if you have time. I mean, there's nothing wrong with doing them on a weekday. It's just that it's more effective and efficient during weekend because of the double drop rates for legendaries and what you call that, mythicals. An honorable mention would be trading. So if you somehow got lucky enough to get a really good legendary item like a trident or one of the cores, there's a chance that you can trade them off for a legendary fruit, especially trident right now. I believe people are trading trident for a Hiei, maybe even a Goro for it. So that's also another chance. So boss hunting might be another method if you count trading uh, items for fruits. But it's just an honorable mention for me because um, trading values tend to be a bit tricky. You know, they go up and down quite a lot. Okay, so that's all of the methods that you can get a fruit in GPO. I didn't include begging because if you beg, you would instantly deserve to eat a kilo. Let me know down in the comments below if I missed any method or if there are some clarifications needed for a method that I mentioned that I didn't, explain clearly. I'll be answering your questions if you have any down below because I'm pretty active in the comments. I check them often every hour or so. So with that being said, thank you for watching. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video or if you found this helpful. Share it to your friends or especially to those newbies. And remember, never ever beg. There is never an easy way to get a fruit. Now go grind and stop wasting your time. Goodbye.